Okay, William.
Okay, hello everybody. Thanks for being with us on the 4th of July weekend. We know how important this is for you to be with us and give up part of your holiday weekend to join us. So, my name is William Friedman. I live in Sand Point, Idaho, and this is Mr. Jim Glenn and Ann Glenn. And Jim and I will be your hosts for tonight. And thanks for being here again. This is pretty special. I wasn't expecting such a large crowd, so I'm super excited to have everybody. I'd like to send a special welcome out to our new guests that are here tonight, perhaps for the very first time. This is our ASEA broadcast, where we bring interesting and unique perspectives about the science of ASEA, the business of ASEA, and real life-changing experiences to all of you. Hey, tonight's guest is Mary Ann McQuillian, and she's from New York. And Mary Ann is the owner of Complementary Wellness Center in Middletown, New York. She is also a licensed acupuncturist and Chinese medicine practitioner and has been an entrepreneur for 29 years. Wow. And Mary Ann has also worked as a fitness trainer and been involved and interested in helping people for a lot of years. And then a little later, we're going to have Joe Cataldo and Matt Kesar. They'll be sharing a very powerful testimonial. But Mary Ann, back to you. Welcome. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, William.
You're so welcome. You know, Mary Ann, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Oh, well, you got an hour?
Yeah, we do. We do, actually.
So my career started when I was in my teens. My sister had a rare muscular problem, and I would wake up in the middle of the night. I knew how to massage her legs, and it resolved. I went on to college. I have a business degree, and I was just so impressed with massage therapy. I didn't know anybody who was a massage therapist, anybody who had gone for a professional massage. And I just realized, I just said, I'm going to be a massage therapist. And so I graduated 29 years ago, went on to be a personal trainer. Massage really launched my career. And then 19 years ago, I became an acupuncturist here in New York. And as I said, you know, what really moves me is giving people options. And I think that that is where ASEA really helped me as well. I just can't get over how lucky we are to have ASEA. As I share ASEA with my patients, I always talk about this one key factor. This product, William, is native to the body. It is the one product that I have not found any contraindications, meaning it's indicated for everyone because that's what we had in us when we were kids. We hit 12, 13, 14, and then we went into puberty, and then our bodies were prepared for obviously for women childbirth. And it wasn't too long ago that people didn't live, you know, past 60 years old. ASEA gives us that opportunity to regenerate and repair our own cells. So,
And Mary Ann, how long ago, you know, I'm so curious, and I know everyone else will be too. So here you are as a practitioner for all these years, making a difference in people's lives. How did you learn about this discovery, and what made you realize? Tell us about the journey of the realization of how powerful this is.
okay, well, unfortunately, my husband had a bad quad accident, and he wasn't right for about 3 or 4 years. And he wanted to go to somebody who could fix a hiatal hernia. And so we found Foster Malmed. And as you all know, Foster is a wonderful chiropractor. He's gifted. And in his office were these boxes. And my husband turned and said, "What is that?" And Foster said, "Well, let me take care of you a little bit. I'll tell you about that on your next visit." And my husband said, "No, I want that now." Well, the thing about my husband's condition is that, yes, he broke his leg. He was on crutches for 11 months. But what people don't really know is that the accident really affected his digestive tract. And we did not go out to eat for about 2 years. And the anxiety that he had was outrageous. And he brought these bottles home. He said, I just bought this stuff. I said, okay, here I am, the practitioner. And I said, okay, great. I'll look at it when I can. About 6 months went by, and my husband said these magical words to me. You want to go out to dinner? I said, sure. I said, do you mean you want me to go pick it up, or are you going to pick it up? He said, no, let's go out to dinner.
Wow.
And Rob's life really changed. I noticed the anxiety shifted. And again, it was like he was a new person. And for me, you know, I didn't really begin to take ASEA until about, I'm going to say, another 6 months, when I had an ice skating accident. And I fell, and my left shoulder felt like it was about 6 inches out away from my body. And my husband is a very nice guy, and he poured some ASEA, and he slid it across the center island and said, here you go, babe. You have nothing to lose. And within about 5 weeks, I was back to doing yoga, doing full side planks on my left arm. And what's really interesting about that is I was actually contemplating how to go off, like how to stop my career. Like, I cannot use my arm. I could not, I had to carry my left arm with me. I could not let it hang. So our personal testimonials on ASEA are really so life changing. And what I just want to share one other thing. My mother-in-law was diagnosed with a serious condition, and it gets me a little emotional because they gave her about 5 years. And no, I'm sorry, they gave her about 3 years. And immediately she started taking ASEA. And the real deal is it's been 6 years now.
Wow.
And her doctor said, Marlene, whatever you are doing, keep doing. And she didn't really even pronounce ASEA correctly, the ASEA. And she said to her doctor, well, I just do what my daughter-in-law says. So do you want to, maybe you should talk to her. And it's really about helping your cells communicate. No, these molecules. So people go, what is a redox signaling molecule? So I like to give this little analogy. So in every relationship, what is the most important thing, William? People say it all the time.
Love.
Well, love, yes, but
communication.
That's right. Communication. So here's how I explain ASEA. Here's a cell and here's a cell. In order to get these cells to communicate, they need a signaler. So this cell looks at this cell and goes, you're healthy, you can stay. This cell over here is damaged. So this cell says, oh, geez, something's not right over here. And within seconds, the immune system gets woken up, and there's a big alarm that goes off in the body. Your dashboard of your car lights up, and they say, go over there, go to that cell. The only problem is, like I said when we first started, as we age, we make fewer and fewer and fewer of these redox molecules. So the value of ASEA is about, now I want to basically correct myself. The immune system, a lot of people think of the immune system as, oh, you need it when you catch a cold, or you need it when you have a virus. Our immune system is vital for, let's say we have a scrape on our arm or we get sunburn. Any damaged cell requires the immune system to send out those signals. And ASEA boosts the immune system over 500%. So I love ASEA. If you couldn't tell, I love ASEA.
Fantastic. Well, you had a very powerful introduction into the discovery of what ASEA means to you and your family, because you've had many different experiences within your own family. And like we see often in ASEA is it's often the husband and the wife that begin separately. Usually it's the husband or it's the wife that starts because of some challenge, just like you described with Rob. And then, and that's the same case with myself and my wife, Kathy. And so she says she thought I was nuts to ever even consider this, right? And then it happened for me. And then shortly thereafter, she starts thinking, well, I wonder what it would do for me. Not that she had anything going on, but she wondered what it would do. And that's the same that happened in your family. So, you know, you had that injury, your arm's not working, and your husband slides the jar of ASEA over to you, or the container, and here you go. And lo and behold, it made a difference. And now that it's one thing to have it make a difference for people in your family. And I understand how it's really strengthened your belief in what this is and the science behind it. But it's something else entirely to be able to move this into your practice, which you've now done. And of course, seeing initially that Dr. Malmed had the cases of ASEA, the bottles in his office that grabbed Rob's attention. So now, tell us about how you've integrated this into your practice to share with your patients.
So it's pretty simple. I used to have a lot of supplements in my practice, but I will tell you that it took a lot of education and a lot of compliance and a lot of these herbs specifically to make a difference. And I will tell you this, when I share ASEA with my patients, I let them know that this is not a quick fix. I let them know if you really want to help your body to get better, whatever you're doing, even if you're just increasing your water intake, drinking 1 gallon of water one day is not going to change your health. But if you do it for 6 months, really, really take the time to give your cells a chance, you'll get a response. There has not been one person, I have hundreds of patients and family members and friends on ASEA. And the only time ASEA doesn't work is when people don't take it correctly and for the long enough time. And when I mean correctly, most people are dehydrated, and most people need, ASEA works as a detoxifier. If, and I always say, people say, will ASEA work for this? Will ASEA work for that? Will ASEA work for this? I say to them, do you think there are some damaged cells in that area of your body? And of course they say yes. And I say, well, I'm not really sure, but if you give it time, I think it'll really make a difference. And I don't make false promises. I don't hype up ASEA. You don't have to. If people really understand that it's about the cells communicating and the immune system becoming activated an additional 500%, and they understand that we live and die by our immune system, then they will say, oh, and these are their exact words. Oh, I know I need it, but I can think of like 2 or 3 other people that could use this. Well, right, because we're all made up at our essence, William. We are cells and energy.
Well said. Well said. You know, and Marianne, you've provided throughout your career many different modalities or paths for people to get better. And how would you say the ASEA and the discovery of the technology and sharing it with your patients, how would you say it compares to the other things that you've made available?
Well, like I just said, William, there are, at our essence, we are cells and energy. So I think of acupuncture as manipulating our energy. And I think of ASEA as supporting our cells. And I just want to backtrack for 1 second. It's not just about boosting the immune system and actually helping the body to repair cells. It's also about getting rid of damaged cells. The process is called apoptosis, and that's what's it's called natural cell death. That's what happens when you're 7 years old, you scratch you fall, you scratch your leg, and within a couple days, you have a scab. It's almost all gone because you have so many redox molecules that are activating your immune system. So, I think I just lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Well,
Um,
the apoptosis and
Apoptosis. Thank you.
yeah.
So, getting rid of the damaged cells is it's kind of like this. If you're going to clean out a closet, the first thing that shows up when you take everything out of the closet is a mess. And ASEA goes in and takes all those damaged cells or and says you can stay because you're able to get well, and the others are too far gone and they're gonna be killed off naturally. So you got to clean house, and that's the other part of turning people on. To answer your question about how have I seen ASEA work in my practice, I say this: if they take ASEA, they need half the amount of treatment that they did without. And so some people are, most people are, yes, I want to feel better quicker. And again, I'm not making false promises. I'm not saying that ASEA treats, cures, mitigates anything. All I'm saying is if you want to give your body a bigger opportunity, then you might want to try ASEA.
That's fantastic. And Emily Dobson put in the chat, she says, since ASEA boosts the immune response, it is recommended for immunosuppressed patients, and that's question mark. So she's wondering if that would be the case.
Well, as a matter of fact, I have a patient whose boyfriend is has cancer, and he's in and out of Sloan Kettering in the city, and he's on immunosuppressant meds. So the thing is, it's a little tricky because their focus is to lower the immune system because they're under the impression that if you perk up the immune system, it's going to go after not only the bad cells but the good cells. Here's the thing. I think that this is really important because I heard Dr. Samuelson speak on this a very long time ago. When we talk about boosting the immune system, we are not talking about a histamine response. A histamine response is when there's trauma of any kind and the body floods, the immune system floods to that area. But you're not causing more trauma to that area. And a histamine reaction, you know, if you have hay fever, you want an antihistamine. And my light just went out. I'm still here, but I just lost the light bulb. Anyway, in my opinion, I would say that ASEA is simply it's going to assist in the communication process. So um, I'm not an oncologist and I cannot speak on what the immunosuppressant drugs really do. That's outside of my scope. But if we really understand that these molecules are really there to assist in communication. ASEA doesn't cure anything. It just improves communication. So
well said. Well said. Yeah, we don't make any medical claims to cure, prevent, or treat any medical condition or disease. We simply provide the body with its weapon of choice so that the body can take care of itself. And I think you said that very well, Marianne, which is communication. It all comes down to communication. That's fantastic. Hey, do you want a second to try and turn on a light?
Yep, give me a second. Thanks.
Okay. Well, this is exciting, and for especially the new people that are just tuning in, this is very important to understand that ultimately it comes down to communication. We haven't focused on this, and we haven't been taught this necessarily. So, it requires us to number one, keep an open mind, and to be willing to look at what science is now discovering as it relates to our body's ability to communicate with itself, to heal itself. Because this technology, I believe, is still probably 15 or 20 years ahead of its time. And I've certainly heard that said. So we have to, again, keep an open mind and help people move to the ability to rationalize taking care of their bodies in a whole new way. And I think that's what ASEA represents. And that's what's most exciting about me. Marianne, thank you. You're back. We can see you perfectly. So, Marianne, tell us, what's the future look like? What are you excited about as it relates to the future of your practice? Obviously, also as it relates to you and Rob and your family's health. I mean, how's that look today?
Well, for me, I've been at this for a very long time, and within a couple of years, Rob and I are going to consider moving out of New York. And of course, I'll bring my ASEA business with me. And that's what I love about network marketing. When you're with a company with the values and the ethos of ASEA, it's really it's really about a heart-to-heart connection. So for us, we have ASEA with us at all times. We meet people camping, we meet people everywhere. And a lot of the times, I mean, my husband is a remarkable salesman. He works in New York City, but it's really just a heart-to-heart connection. And we will continue to share ASEA wherever we go. I'm going to continue with my patients, with neighbors. I will say that the hardest thing, I just want to share this, the hardest thing about ASEA is when you know how helpful and beneficial it is, and there are people who just simply are not the decision makers for their own health. That to me is heartbreaking, and I just don't want anybody to become discouraged or try to over educate somebody, because that you have to give people room to come to you for some more information. People are hip to network marketing, and if you come on too hard, it looks like it's about you instead of helping them. So the hardest thing is when people we know and love aren't willing to try ASEA.
Well said. Well said. And I realize that in the history of network marketing, as you describe it, there has never been, number one, the leaders that are the founders and the executive team that are managing this company. This quality of people have never been brought to bear, never been brought to force in one single way with a single mission in mind, right? To better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world, and focus all of their energy on cellular health and cellular repair mechanisms in the body and supporting that. That's really incredible. And Marianne, you've been exposed, you've been an entrepreneur for 29 years now. And have you ever seen a company like ASEA?
Well, I will say this, never with this technology.
Yeah.
25 years ago, there was a great company, but they ended up selling out. I will say, you know, for people who are new to ASEA, I have had the opportunity to spend time. My husband and I had this, we were one of the first people in New York. We had dinner with Bonnie and Vertus and Nancy and Mark and Sue Brenchley. This is going back probably 9 years ago. And we had the opportunity to bring Dr. Gary. We were going from the hotel to a restaurant. And what a pleasure these people are, because they never claim to know more than you do. Dr. Samuelson was asking my husband how to build something, and they're just very down to earth. They're really in it for the right reasons. And I heard you guys talking earlier about the genesis, um, the video. And here's the thing: it's real. That pharmaceutical company from New Jersey wanted to buy the whole company. So for anybody who has not seen the Genesis video, that is the heart and soul of ASEA. And that is really why this company is so different. And I don't know about you, but nobody's ever slid a huge check across the table, one that would help your children's 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 children, and say, no, this is for the people. So it takes guts to do that.
Fantastic. And you're right. The combination of, and it starts with the people finishing the science around this discovery and bringing it to the world, in such a unique way that all of us get to participate. And normally most of us would never have an opportunity to participate in a discovery so significant. Typically would be held in private hands, and the fact that we have that opportunity today is very exciting. I think what would be great, Marianne, if you don't mind, I would like to introduce our other guests for here, because I think it really is important, based on what you've shared with us and how you've utilized this in your practice, and the incredible results you've seen for people in your family and your clients as well. I want to tell everybody that I had a conversation with Joe last week, and this is Joe Cataldo in Melbourne, Australia. And Joe related a story to me about Matt Kesar, and so we decided that today we would try to work it out to where that Joe could go wherever Matt was, so we could have a short conversation. And I've learned that Leanne is also with us, who is associated with this remarkable story. And so here we have, like Marianne, like you said, it's people sharing the knowledge and making a difference in people's lives. And so here we have three individuals that have been brought together so that this young man, Matt, could join us and share what the molecules mean to him. So Joe, thank you. Leanne, thank you. And Matt, welcome. Thanks for being with us. Can you hear me okay? Matt, you're muted. Hang on, let me unmute you.
Can you hear me?
There, now we can see you perfectly.
How are you?
Hi, Matt. Hi, Matt.
You're fine. You're fine.
So, Matt, I understand that you just recently discovered the molecules.
Yeah, I have, and I'm very grateful for that. I've been blind for 15 years in one eye and 10 years in the other. I first found out that I had a problem about 22 years ago, and that I would be left blind, which I am.
Wow.
Over the years, a lot has happened, and I came across the ASEA. I've tried, lots of different things in the past to try and, prevent or restore or, stop from going blind, but I never did. But now, well, my eyes were like golf balls. They looked like just white, opaque. And after taking the ASEA for about 2 weeks, my girlfriend started to notice some difference the color. It started to come through. And after about a month, you could see my eyeballs. They were there, you know, they were present. And they started to look much more normal. And just more recently, I have a lot of scar tissue on the eyes, a lot from where all the surgeries were. You know, they look like mountain ranges on a 3D map, you know. There was lots of them. And the doctor said that the optometrist said that I would never see again out of these eyes. That was his last. He said there was so much scar tissue there that, you know, inside and out, I would never see again. And I just said, thanks. You know, that's just something I already knew.
Yeah.
So the other day I put the kids to bed and I put some masseer just over the eyes, and I already known that this eye was clearing because I'd taken some blow up photos. We'd taken some photos of the eye, and we already knew that this eye was clearing up with the scar tissue being very clear. But this eye here was very bad, extremely bad. And I went this particular day. I put the masseer over the eye, and I was talking to somebody on the internet, and I showed them the eye, and they said, "Yeah, you know, I can see those what you're talking about." After an hour of talking to this person, I asked her to have a look again, and she said that they were all gone except for a little bit just on the corner, you know. And I pretty much I couldn't believe it. You know, it was pretty late at night, and I couldn't wake anybody up to confirm it. So I waited till the next morning, and I asked Dad. I said, "Dad, you saw my eyes yesterday. I said, can you have a look again today and just check in and see if that scar tissue is still there from yesterday?" So he had a look, and he's looking and he's looking. He said, "It's all gone." He said, "There's just a little bit on that corner." And I was very excited about that because now I can go back to my optometrist and get some more, you know, photos taken and just of my progress as I go along. I'm very grateful that, first of all, I have my, you know, basically my appearance back. It didn't look too good before. My doctor says, well, that's a miracle on its own, because that, you know, you can't really go back. And you know, once that scarring is all there, it's, you know, it's virtually impossible to go back. And now one step further, the scar tissue on the front of the eye, because I'm documenting all of this that's happening to me. The scar tissue on the eye is diminishing. It's disappearing, which is the second improvement, which is being impossible, you know, by the doctors. So now we just need to wait and hold on tight for, you know, further improvements. And also I do get flashes now and then, like little flashes, but I don't know if I don't think it's an external, I think it's something internal, sort of something generating, but this also wasn't happening before, which I'm very happy about as well.
Amazing.
So basically, that's the story about my eyes, and it's all in the making now. That I'm so grateful that Leanne introduced me to the product, because without that, I would not have these results. I feel more comfortable now. You know, when I go out, people don't realise that these eyes were what they were. I don't know what they look like, but I'm getting a lot more compliment now.
Wow, Matt.
I'm very grateful for that. Yeah.
Matt, we are so thrilled for you. And, you know, you're right. You look amazing. You're a very handsome man. And, you know, we can all see the confidence in your face. We can all see the happiness from the results. And even though these may seem like insignificant results to some, these are huge for you and for your family and for your confidence. So, wow. And Leanne, we have to see your, there you go. I want to see your face. I want to let everybody see your face, because you guys, this is the magic of what we all get to do. We get to help people and tell people by telling people about this incredible science, this incredible company, right? And Leanne, thank you for taking time out of your day to talk to Matt, and not knowing, right, if it could ultimately mean much to Matt, but to see where we are today, and granted, we still have, Matt still has a long ways to go,
Yeah.
but come a long ways already in such a short time.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. And
I've
Matt,
had some amazing, a lot of things go through my life. You could pretty much make a movie on me. I choose not to stop, and I choose to give everything a go. That I find that's beneficial to my health or my eyes. I never close the door, and I always take the opportunity by two hands. And I'm very grateful for this for this to come about. I believe that one day I will see.
You will see.
And I'll continue my journey. I'm a little bit sort of different type of person to your average blind guy. I do a lot of carpentry work and buildings and motorcycles, and so I've got a big story to tell if this comes about the right way. Yeah.
Wow. Well, we are so encouraged by your spirit, by your words, by your appearance, and that we're proud of you. I just want you to know, all of us around the world that are on this call, and the hundreds or thousands of people that will see this later on, that you've made a big difference here. And Leanne, you've made a big difference. And Joe, you've made a big difference. But especially you, Matt, for being brave enough to come on and share your story with us. And I know we're all just pleased for your kids and for you, your family. And Leanne, good job. And Matt, I hope you'll come back. Maybe even many more times, to keep us updated, to let us know how things are going. Yeah.
Look, I'm going to keep this up for the rest of my life. I believe it's making a big impact on my body completely. Even my hair starting to grow back a little bit on the front. I can believe it. But I'll continue to take this for the rest of my life, because it's very beneficial to me, and yeah, basically overall.
And we'll see you all on stage one day at convention.
Yeah, that's right.
I hope to take this to the next level, and be a very big advocate for the company and what have you. So it's only early days yet, but I look forward to the future. It seems very bright.
And Matt, have you been putting this in your eyes, like the liquid in your eyes?
Okay, so I started off to take a couple of ounces, or I think I take about 8 ounces now. I don't really measure.
Okay.
I take about 8 ounces a day, maybe sometimes more. And I put I've got a little eye bath. I pop it in the eye and give it a swish, and I leave it soak, let it go to the back of my sinuses.
Yeah.
And then just through the night time, I just get the gel and just put a bit of gel over the eyes, and a bit up here. Bit on the hair a little bit, make it grow back.
And you started too with the serum just on the eyelids as well.
Oh, perfect.
And I just give the serum a go, just for other blemishes and what have you. But
Sure.
I'm interested to give it all a go, and I'm seeing improvements, and I'm very thankful for that. And I appreciate it.
How long have you been taking it, Matt? When did you start?
I've been taking it for, I think, no, less than that. Under 2 months. Just under 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Man.
So, yeah. It's really, really good.
We may have to have him back on there once a month, William.
Yeah. Matt, you're
actually, I'll tell you a little story how I came to the ASEA. I bought a motorcycle, a GSXR 600. It's a racing motorcycle. I'm blind, by the way. It was quite funny. And the guy who I bought the motorcycle off, he comes from a line of pastors in his family. They're all Christians. And he couldn't believe it that I'm purchasing this bike. You know, 'cause I love bikes. And he left and he says, Matthew, he said, you're going to ride that bike. And I'm thinking, you know, yeah, I know. Yeah. But this one, not this one. It's a big bike. And he left. And that was April 25. May 14th is my birthday. I received the call from Leanne and I was blessed with the ASEA. So one step closer to riding that bike.
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing. We're right there with you on that one. We're right there with you on that
One
one.
step closer. I've got it there. It's inside my house waiting.
Yeah. Wow, fantastic. Well, thanks for being with us, you guys. Job well done. I know we're just beginning, and I'm grateful that I know we're all grateful we are where we are. All of us listening are grateful to have had this experience with you, Matt. You're again very vibrant. You're an amazing communicator. You've got such a spirit that we can all feel and touch that and see that. We appreciate that very much. Thanks for being with us.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow, guys, what a great night. Marianne, did you want to say anything?
Yes, I do. I wanted to add what a thrill it is to hear these wonderful testimonials. I want to share that you don't have to be sick or you don't have to be injured to take a SIA. And for me, I take a SIA. Well, I do love the skincare line. Let me just say that. But I take a SIA because I want my immune system to be strong. I have, you name the disease. And again, not that a SIA treats anything, but I just want to, I use a SIA for prevention. I don't use it necessarily for anything in particular. And a lot of people say, well, how do you know that it's even working? And believe me, you can go over testimonial after testimonial. People's numbers have changed. They've had tons of blood work done. You have to know the science, really, to understand that the moment a SIA, whether it's the liquid or the gel, the serum, as soon as it touches a cell, it begins working. So that's why it's so important to educate our customers and our other distributors about washing the rim of the glass so that no saliva is left on the glass. And because if you leave saliva on the glass, the next time you pour a SIA over it, it's going to be treating the saliva that's on the glass and it's never going to get in your body. So keep in mind, you don't have to be, if you're building a business, this is about health and abundance and vitality. That's the other thing I've noticed. People that are consistent with a SIA have this, it's a very interesting vibe about them. They really have their outlook is different and they have more vitality. So I really want everybody to know it's not just about somebody who has a condition. So offer it from a place of, healthy living. That's what I call it.
Well said. Yeah, the preventative aspects are absolutely off the charts. You guys, hey, Maddie, I have to let you know, I'm calling you Maddie now because one of your friends, Vision, says, give my regards to Maddie Kesar. We are friends with him from the local area. Local shout out. So here, let me unmute you. So there you go.
And Ellen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to catch up with them later on today. It'd be great.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, a lot of people care about you. A lot of people, we're with you in spirit. Absolutely. Absolutely. We wish you the very best, very, very best. And so I want to thank Marianne for being with us tonight. Marianne, you were wonderful and great. Thanks for giving up time to be with us. And especially Maddie, thanks for being with us. And thanks to Leanne and Joe for for making this possible. You know, what a great night. Jim?
Thank you. And I also look forward to sharing future testimonial with you guys. I look forward to that.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. As,
Hey, I want to ask Marianne a quick question. I've been wanting to ask this. Marianne, when we talk about we're boosting the immune system, I don't think people get an idea how big that is. But two words that I like to say is that this will boost your immune system by 500 to 800%, somewhere in there. But the next two words that I always say, and I think people miss this, if your body needs it.
Mm-hmm.
If needed. So we're not forcing something into the body. It's the body signaling itself whether or not it needs it. If it needs it, it'll cause it to produce more. But so many people are trying to force feed the glutathione and things like that into their body. How big of a deal is that to you as a health professional?
Well, if what I do in Chinese medicine is we understand the physiology of the body, and we're always just trying to remind the body what to do. Somebody's here. Welcome. So we're just always trying to help the body to do what it already knows how to do. And that means you drink a Sia, you apply the Renew, and it knows what to do. You know, you don't have to tell your body when to secrete a certain hormone, or how many the digestive juices, or how much of the immune system to send to a cut that you got when you cut your finger while chopping vegetables. It already does that. So if the body needs something by just taking a Sia, you are just giving it its ammunition. And there's no part on the body that doesn't utilize these redox molecules, because it goes back to we are cells and energy. And if our cells need help and there's enough redox molecules there to utilize, then we have a better fighting chance. But if we don't have enough redox molecules, then our well-being and our ability to thrive is actually going to decrease. So I like to say that there, this idea, we're either thriving or we're not. So by giving yourself, drinking a Sia and applying the topical gel, you're giving your body a better opportunity. And if your body needs it, well, we all need it. If you're older than 12 or 13 years old, you need it. If you live where there's smog, you need it. If you get sunburn, you need it. I fell walking my dog about a month ago, and man, did that hurt my knee. I needed it. 25, 30 years ago, I would have bounced back a lot quicker. So I need it from a maintenance point of view, and I need it when there's some, trauma or, some damaged cells. So in Maddie's case, I will have to say, I know of a woman who, they say the Renew gel is not to be applied internally. Well, for me, I think the Renew 28 is, because it's, a topical gel, they say, only use it topically. I'm not going to tell you what to do, Maddie, but they say only use it topically. Wink, wink. You can use the Renew wherever you want. And if this was an all women's call, I would talk about other things. So keep in mind, this stuff is safe. This stuff is already in us. So you use it, use a lot of it, and then see what happens.
Awesome.
Way to go.
thank you, Marianne.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Maddie, Joe. Leanne. Hey, happy birthday to Jim Glenn is coming across the network. So congratulations. You made it to another one, big guy.
Yeah, a couple more days.
All right. You're almost there, I guess, then. Not quite. We're
Thanks
gonna
for the reminder, William. I really appreciate that, buddy. All right, guys. Well, we've got Dr. Kaufman next Friday. So please utilize this as a tool to be able to invite other people to come learn about these amazing redox signaling molecules that are native to the body. So with that, William, anything else?
Yeah, just as we wrap up, guys, I think it's super important that because we talked about a lot of things. We heard things, medical terminologies and diseases. I want to be really clear to everybody that ASEA is very clear with all of us that we do not make any medical claims whatsoever. Okay, we are not connecting ASEA into helping, resolving, or treating any condition or disease. The point is we don't have to. We're simply empowering the body to heal itself. But I want to make that disclaimer. I think it's really important. We do not want to create false hope for people, and we don't want to get the company in trouble. So we're not making any medical claims whatsoever or connections. So guys, what a great night. Thanks for being with us. Everybody enjoy in the US your 4th of July weekend. In Canada, I know you had your Canada days last week, and I'm not sure for Australia what it is where you guys are, but have a great weekend, everybody.
Yeah, you guys too.
Just one more thing.
Thank you, guys.
One more thing. Go ahead. Go ahead, Matt.
Who wants to come for a ride on the back of that bike with me in a few months' time?
I'm there.
Hey, let's do
Good
it.
on you, mate.
I'm
Good
there.
on you, mate. I look forward to that.
See you guys.
Take care.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks, William.
You bet. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.